All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to the pod. We thought it's absolutely the right time and talk about the NBA. Welcome back in.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it is definitely time to be back just to celebrate a key milestone that happened a couple of days ago.
Absolutely. Look, Steph, I have to say I've grown more to like him, especially over the last couple of years. I've appreciated his greatness. There was this huge rivalry, I suppose, between him and LeBron in the mid 2010s, and I took LeBron's side to be honest, but but the two boys from Akron, right, born in Akron, and Steph's done it in a very different way. They were both born in Akron, but they've done it very different ways. Steph coming from a father who played in the NBA for 15, 16 years. Del Curry, one of the great shooters as well of all time, coming from a stable family, but having to grind in some ways because he wasn't appreciated. He was a 3-star recruit, and went to not second division, could be even third division, right? Davidson. Definitely wasn't first division basketball, and played 3 or 4 years as well, proving to the scouts that he's worthy, and got drafted number 7, went to Golden State. I specifically remember on the night, I think he wanted to go number 8 to New York and stay in the East Coast. His family's from Charlotte. And he had this look on his face like, oh, damn, I don't want to go to Golden State. This is when Golden State was shit.
They were shit.
They were horrible. I think just the year after or during that offseason, Joe Laker bought the Warriors and made it to what it is today. But yeah, man, everything that Steph's done over the last, I don't know, about 12 years or so, hats off. Hats off to him.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you look at him when he came in, he's skinny now, but geez, he looked like a little
Reggie Miller.
Yeah, Reggie Miller when he first joined the league.
The previous one of the previous all-time 3-point leaders, as well.
That's it.
Yeah, he was tiny, right? He's actually built his body up a fair bit to be able to take those hits, take those those checks, those bumps. And he loves the game, right? He's so passionate about the game. Without that passion, yeah, I'm a true believer now that, he said it himself, right? He had a little clip. Talent, and physical ability is one thing. It only gets you so far, but without that passion, it's really hard to put hours and hours on daily in the gym. To just keep working on your craft, to be the best at what he does. And that's the greatest shooter of all time, right? So I really admire these guys that have made so much money, so much fame, but still have that hunger and passion to just keep pushing. Like it's very, very, very rare quality. So yeah, hats off to him.
Yeah, I just look at him, when he trains, when he's before the game, after the game, he's just shooting. Like, he's always shooting. And if you look at him from, various spots, probably except for a full court, I'd say his action is almost exactly the same. And if kids want to learn how to shoot, have a look at him. They used to say, watch Ray Allen, but watch Steph.
Yeah, pure shooters. Ray Allen had a beautiful shooting stroke as well. He was the leader, and great shooter himself. So, and the crazy thing is how much quicker I think he's done it than Ray Allen. I think 550 odd games quicker than Ray Allen. And about 500 odd shots less than Ray Allen as well. So
shots taken. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy, man. I mean, he's the greatest shooter of all time. Even he now recognizes it, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, it was just so good. Him doing it. Madison Square Garden against the Knicks, and when he got that shot, like, everyone just stopped.
I know, right? Yeah, for a opposing crowd, it was pretty cool that they gave him that opportunity to soak it up and celebrate it, even though it was on foreign soil, so to speak. Still such a great occasion, and everyone celebrated. Yeah, it was great. Also, Draymond being there and Andre Iguodala, the two guys that have assisted the most on his 3-point shots as well. He got them rollies,
Yeah.
couple of Rolexes, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and Kevin Durant was actually the third guy that's assisted the most on his shots. Funnily enough, and he said a little Instagram post saying, "Send me rolly as well." Yeah, it's just a really nice moment for the NBA actually, just before the Christmas games.
Yeah, exactly. And, it was good to see LeBron cheer him on as well. So, no harm, no foul there.
Yeah, they've definitely grown to appreciate each other, those guys, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and the Warriors, man, what a team, right? They're killing
they're rolling
at the
moment, yeah.
And that's without Clay and James Wiseman. So, yeah, pretty awesome stretch so far. They beat Phoenix's run of 17, 18 games. They snapped that. Who do you take so far out of those teams? Phoenix or Golden State? That's the best.
This so far, it's been Golden State. If you look at the way they play at the moment, team wise, I think there's still a few injury cloud in Phoenix. I mean the early run might have just wore a little bit on them, but yeah, once I guess they get all their guys back and let's see mid-season, see what happens.
Yep. Yeah, Booker's out at the moment for Phoenix as well. He's injured. But yeah, geez, they've got a nice team as well. I think getting JaVale McGee has been interestingly quite good for them. It just means that they can play that same game style even when DeAndre Ayton is sitting as well. I think they've done really well with getting good backup. Mikal Bridges taken to another level as well. Ayton's taken to another level. CP3, man, old man CP3 is playing really well still as well. So, yeah, it's a good team, but I take Golden State at this stage, mainly because the fact that they've got such a good balanced team. Plus, Clay's going to come back with a chip on his shoulder. And Jordan Poole's playing really well. I'm really, surprised with the way Jordan Poole plays, man. It's crazy, right? Like, did you see that? Did you see this guy was capable of that stuff?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, right? The way he's playing.
Yeah. The way he's been, I think he's a good, I guess, so far substitute for Clay, but plays a little bit differently, of course. But once Clay, if he can just get into that rhythm, man, the Splash Brothers are going to come back. It's going to be exciting. Down now.
And to be honest, I think Clay's just been activated to be part of the Warriors, actually, because he was playing with the G League team. And just to touch on what this guy's gone through, right? 2.5 years out. Out in the finals, did his ACL, which is a terrible injury to come back from, probably the second worst injury. And then the worst injury, Achilles, back to back.
Yeah.
Whew, and even for him, man, he loves this game. And you can tell how much pain he's gone through the rehab period. And the world's moved forward. Quarter of a decade has moved on while he's been sidelined and rehabbing on his own. So, really looking forward to seeing how he comes back, man. And yeah, like we've said before, he should have been in the top 75 NBA team as well. So yeah, really like the Warriors now. I used to I kind of didn't like them before. Now I like them.
Was that the old stigma from the old days, though, rather than something that's recent?
No, I just appreciated what that run they had, because when there's a dynasty and that's not your team, they're good for 3-4 years and they're unbeatable. You're like, oh man, I'm sick of these guys. I want them to lose. and then KD left
Yeah.
and Clay got injured and they did fall away for 2-3 years, right? But now they're back and you're like, oh man, the old champs are back. It's kind of cool to see, the fact that they're coming back again. It's pretty rare for dynasties to come back so quickly with the same crew, to be honest, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even Wiggins, man, number one pick, max player, but pretty good third string player, right? So he's having a great season as well. So, gotta give it up to him.
I think he's done a mellow in that he's accepted his role. He's not just trying to say he's the man anymore, but he's open, but he's still getting paid. I mean, 31 mil, you can't sneeze on that.
Absolutely.
He's getting paid more than Draymond still. It's crazy.
Absolutely, mate. Really appreciating the Warriors. Brooklyn, man, KD's playing really well as well, right? Damn. Going
they're playing out of their mind, even without Kyrie. You know what? What a shit show that's been.
I know, right? I mean, what kind of craziness is that guy doing, man? Like, he's out of his mind, right? He's thinking about apparently coming back. He must have realized, the world doesn't revolve around me and my craziness. People move on, right? People forget so quickly, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's known for a basketball player playing basketball. People talking about his basketball game. And then the weird stuff is kind of cool and funny, but without him playing basketball, no one remembers him, man. People will forget this guy in a year. So I think he's probably starting to realize that.
Yeah. But, if he sits out, it's been good for little-known Aussie, Paddy Mills, pushing things to OT and just winning the game for the Nets, mate.
Man, I still say what they signed him up for was just crazy, right? Like, I think he's on $5 million a year or something like that for 2 years. Jeez. Absolute
disgrace.
Yeah. Should be on much more money than that. Insane.
He's on 5.8 and fucking Wiggins is on 37. Get out of town. Right. So get this. No one's finding Kyrie for not playing, right?
I don't know.
Is it because he can't play, or they won't let him play, or like what is it?
Well, I don't know if I'm not sure if Nets are finding him. Actually, I'm not quite sure about that. I did read yesterday that they might be finding him, but hasn't been as openly talked about as much as the whole Ben Simmons shit show as well.
Yeah.
So sitting it out for totally two different reasons. It's kind of it's crazy, right? And at some point, these guys would want to move on from these guys, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, there is talk now that we can go to trades. That ultimately they may be looking at a game for Kyrie. Straight swaps, maybe a bit of cash.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Jeez, they're probably. I mean, they're getting to getting rid of one head case for another, right? So I don't know. It's buyer beware sometimes with these guys, I reckon, to be honest. So, and then the other guys.
Dame ain't happy.
Huh?
Dame isn't happy where he is.
Yeah.
He wants a ring.
He wants a ring, but apparently he still wants the 2 years, $50+ million extension as well.
That is true.
At 32 years age, he's kind of had a bit of a down year this year. So, yeah, I'm not sure if the GM wanna pay him, man. And Chauncey Billups, I'm not sure he's going too well. Actually, he's transitioned into being a coach. Pretty cool to see him as a coach, but apparently some murmurings that players aren't all that happy. So,
in that they haven't bought in to what he's spouting.
That's right. But I mean, yeah, it's cool to see Chauncey Billups being a coach there, I've got to say. Excellent. Yeah, and speaking of trades, Russell Westbrook, man, there's some rumors that, geez, he could be on the out as well.
Be on the chop, really?
Well,
I thought he's doing all right.
his numbers are all right, but the thing is, the Lakers aren't doing too well.
Locker room.
but I have to say the last 4 or 5 games, there are some signs they're turning it around with LeBron playing consistently. I mean, 37-year-old guy is still almost 37 in about 2 weeks, still friggin' killing it, right? Yeah, they've got a new nickname, I've been told, for Anthony Davis, A Disney. They call him A Disney apparently because he had a great year in the Orlando bubble, and Disney World is in Orlando. So I'm like, damn, man, that's pretty creative. Yeah, I have to say, I mean, his numbers are good too, but the impact isn't there. And when you watch him and like a Giannis, who's only like a year younger than him, they were meant to be like the comparisons and MVP type players. Yeah, Giannis is ahead. So yeah, pretty interesting for the Lakers. I think they're going to probably try and roll with what they've got. And who knows? I don't think there's going to be too many takers for Westbrook anyway. Not this season, maybe next season. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not championship favourites. I think they'll get it together and maybe finish 4th, something like that. In the West.
But do you think they can finish it off and get to at least the conference finals?
I think conference finals will be hard. The way Warriors and Phoenix are playing, I think right now it'll be a stretch. They'll have to get on a bit of a roll, and they're showing a little bit of signs they are getting on a roll. The trouble is their bench isn't that great. They've got a pretty weak bench. The defense wasn't as good as it used to be a couple of years ago. So I would say Phoenix and Warriors will make the conference finals because they're just ahead. They're playing way too well not to be there right now. But yeah, I mean, if any team can get there, it's those guys. So we'll have to wait and see.
Who do you see can improve and actually make the finals?
Make the finals, I think. Yeah, I think in the East, Brooklyn, even without Kyrie, they're going really well. And Milwaukee, after a bit of a terrible start with their 3 players injured, they're playing really well too. So, yeah, I think it's going to be one of those guys coming out in the East, and it'll be pretty cool to see Brooklyn versus Warriors, Steph versus KD for the ring. Yeah, that'll be kind of cool to see, I think. Yep.
Are you surprised that Miami's just hanging in there at the moment? Around number 5. And you think they can improve somewhere?
Yeah, potentially. I think you never know. They might even pull off a trade or two. Miami as well. Good team. Good even team as well. Probably not enough to knock off Bucks or Brooklyn at this stage, I would say. But yeah, definitely will be up there. And Chicago's still playing really well. Had a great start, had a bit of wobble, and now they're playing really well as well. So it's quite even up the top in both conferences, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, the surprise that I'm been watching the games is the old mates, the Cavs. Well, a little run they've got. Little Evan Mobley, number 1 in the rankings. Yeah, he's been doing all right for a little rookie.
I know. I think everyone's surprised how well Cavaliers are going. He's made an impact even on the defensive end, I think, Evan Mobley. So yeah, they've got a good one. He's almost like a bit of a Chris Bosh type player. I think 10 years 10-year player that's just going to be a really good player. So
just
amazing.
a matter of whether they can keep him happy.
That's right. That's right. Cavaliers do tend to screw it all up, I suppose. Yeah, no, it's a fun time in the league right now, and the Christmas games are coming up too. Some awesome play and potentially some trades to go down as well in the next month or so. I think some players are now eligible to be traded as of the 15th of December, but I'm sure they'll take their time at this stage. So we shall wait and see. Hey, some good news, man. Isaiah Thomas signed in the G League.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, debut game, dropped 40-something points, man. Damn. He can still get buckets.
Oh, he can. It's just whether he can do that in an NBA team.
Yep. I mean, he can still get buckets in the NBA. He just can't defend, right? Like, how do you play?
Yeah, it's a defensive liability. It's like
if they can play 6 players, with Isaiah Thomas, I think it'd be fantastic. But hide him in the corner, get him to shoot, do what he wants to do. But he's just
maybe the Sixers should sign him, and they can just swap him out whenever they need offense, and defense just put Ben in.
You never know, right? Yeah, absolutely. Someone that just needs a couple of buckets. Even LA, man, they could do some with some extra buckets coming off the bench. So yeah, it's just you can't hide him on defense, unfortunately. Yeah, no, good news story. Yeah, and I've got a tool of the week as well. If we want to go there.
Yeah,
right now.
Go for it.
Okay, my tool of the week, or tool of the last 2 months, to be honest, is Zion Williamson.
Oof, fatty.
Oh man, that guy's ballooned out. Talk about just getting sick of playing basketball and no passion for the game. Damn, man. It's crazy, right? I mean, can't blame. I mean, he injured his foot, but his diet, he's just not in shape. And they put up this stat, him and Greg Oden, number of games played in the first 3 seasons, about even. So, worrying signs for Pelicans.
It's worrying when you get compared to Greg Oden.
I know, man. And he's got a foot injury. So,
Jesus. Wouldn't want to be them.
Wouldn't want to be them, mate. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you guys this week.
Absolutely. Been a fun week. Congrats, Steph. And look forward to seeing more magic, man.
Yeah, can't wait for it. I reckon see what he's got for us in All-Star, mate. He's definitely going to be in.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Tuning out. Adios, folks.
Yep, just hit the like button, subscribe, and tell your mates, and we'll see you next time.
That's it.
Peace.
Peace out.